Hello, my name is Katie Nelson, and today we are going to examine integrated curriculum. Before I jump into the content of this presentation, I wanted to share a little bit about myself. I'm married and we have a 19-month-old son and a 6-year-old lab mix named Toby. I've been teaching elementary students for 4 years now, but I have had experience working in various fields with children for over 10 years. I earned my bachelor's degree in education, elementary education from Iowa State University, and I'm completing my last course for my master's from the American College of Education. And I have a passion for students becoming lifelong learners, which is why I earned my master's in integrated curriculum. Let's go over the outline for this presentation. First, I'll discuss what does integrated curriculum mean generally, and then I'll go more in detail, expanding on the idea of integrated curriculum as a continuum. And lastly, I'll end the presentation with the benefits of using integrated curriculum. So first, let's talk about what is integrated curriculum. Integrated curriculum dates back to the early 20th century. And since these early days, there has not been a clear definition on what integrated curriculum is. However, we have many different sources that lead us to the same idea. I'm going to read some different definitions that help us understand in general what integrated curriculum is. The Alberta Education states that integrated curriculum is an approach that purposely draws together knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values from within or across disciplines to develop a more powerful understanding of key ideas. In our second definition that I'm sharing with you, it has a broader context. It's not just for education. The bringing together of concepts, methods, or languages from two or more disciplines or established areas of expertise in order to explain a phenomenon, solve a problem, create a product, or raise a new question in ways that would have been unlikely through single disciplinary means. And lastly, we have an early childhood perspective. So in early childhood programs, it focuses upon the interrelatedness of all curricular areas and helping children acquire basic learning tools. And that's from the Iowa State University Department of Education. Some believe that there's not a clear definition of integrated curriculum because it's actually on a continuum. So here we have a continuum of integrated curriculum. We start with having no integration and then go to highly integrated. So we start with traditional curriculum, which has no integration. Students learn skills and concepts of individual subjects separately. Our next step is interdisciplinary integration, which is when knowledge and skills within a single subject are integrated. So a common example of this would be integrating reading and writing. So they're within the same subject, literacy, but they're different sub-disciplines. Then we move on to multidisciplinary integration, which is when each discipline has its own block of time, but they're based on the same theme. So, for example, if you are teaching about plants in science, then during math, you would also have story problems about plants. Meanwhile, interdisciplinary integration is the integration of multiple disciplines that come together, not just based on theme or problem, but based on common skills and concepts. Lastly, we have transdisciplinary integration, which is said to be beyond disciplines and is the highest on the continuum. There's no distinction between disciplines because all the lessons and activities are open-ended and student-controlled. The goal is understanding and using 21st century skills and these skills are gained as they find, synthesize, and share information. While there's not a clear definition, and there is a continuum of integration, there are some characteristics of integrated curriculum that are across the board. Integrated curriculum is holistic. It helps students make connections across subjects or disciplines and experience learning in a meaningful way. Because it's across disciplines, there are multiple perspectives. Also, it's authentic. It's based on students' interest, and it has real-world transferability. It's meaningful learning. Its integrated curriculum is aligned with the standards. So depending on where you are on the curriculum, it's either aligned to one discipline, literacy, and then you could have your sub-disciplines of writing and reading. Or if it's transdisciplinary, it's still aligned to the standards, but it's aligned to 21st century skills and standards. And also, integrated curriculum goes beyond the textbook. You're not just reading. It's not your traditional direct instruction. Students are engaging in their learning. Because integrated curriculum has these characteristics, it does create a couple challenges for teachers. It takes a lot of time to plan an integrated lesson. And as teachers, we do not have a lot of time, but it is definitely worth the time, your planning time. And it is super unfortunate that districts mandate some curriculums, especially for literacy and math. Because often what happens is that science and social studies and those other non-core disciplines get left behind. And we can solve that problem when we use integrated curriculum because multiple standards are taught at once. So that's one of the benefits for teachers is that we can teach one lesson and hit several different standards because we're integrating the subjects. Additionally, we get to collaborate with other teachers to make students' learning more authentic. Additionally, teaching integrated curriculum is more enjoyable for the teacher as well because there are less negative behaviors to manage. And some of the reasons that there are less negative behaviors is because with integrated curriculum, studies have shown that there's an increase in motivation to learn. There is an increase in engagement, and that was studied by including better attendance and increased homework completion. And students have a better attitude about learning and about school. In addition to the social emotional benefits of integrated curriculum, there's also academic benefits to teaching integrated subjects. Students perform higher on standardized tests, and they achieve more academically as well. Lastly, they have an increase in the 21st century skills that they need as community members and workers, including teamwork, ownership, and critical thinking. While everything has its challenge, I really encourage you to look into integrated curriculum and try changing one lesson or one unit. And then if that goes well, try doing one for each quarter and move along that curriculum by increasing the number of lessons, like I was just suggesting, or start with just that intradisciplinary. Start with just integrating your literacy, your reading and your writing, and then build onto that. For elementary students, I don't suggest going into the transdisciplinary pathway, just because that is really for expert learners and individuals. And in elementary, we're still building those skills and concepts. So teachers need to be more of a facilitator than that is really required and expected of a transdisciplinary integration. I hope that you enjoyed this presentation and that you will try out using integrated curriculum. Thank you.